Warning, you are about to enter the BGP suite. No thongs, no boy shorts, no thigh highs, no commandos are permissible. BGP, big girl panties only. So pull up to woman up. And no, please don't leave with your panties in a bunch.
Welcome to BGP. Today we will be discussing a very serious topic that's near and dear to me. It's Black women and our issue with obesity. Recently I was having a discussion on an app where a lot of men, or the brothers, was complaining about Black women and our weight. And they were saying, like 80 to 90% of Black women are overweight, obese. You know, y'all unattractive. This is why we dating other women outside our race, why we want to leave y'all alone, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I think you guys are exaggerating the numbers. It's not 80 to 90%. It's not, you know. And recently I went out to an event. And while I was attending the event with a few friends of mine, we were just kind of like just studying and looking at a lot of the women that showed up. And there was a lot of women that came that were that fall under the obese spectrum. And the interesting about it also was a lot of these women that I was having conversations with, they don't have children, they're in their 20s, you know, and they're single. And in addition to that, you know, they're looking for quality men, and they kind of want the men that, you know, typically want women that look the opposite. And so it kind of bothered me because I was just like, damn, is there some truth to what some of these men are saying? Do we really have to, you know, do the work? Do we really have to have this discussion and kind of work on getting more healthy? Is it getting out of hand? And in my opinion, I think it is. But before we, you know, tackle that, we have to tackle a lot of issues that come with it. And so what I want to start with is, do you think 80 to 90%, and it's just opinions right now, so I know we're not going to go with the stats yet, but do you think, in your opinion, when it comes to Black women, about 80 to 90% of Black women are obese?
I don't think it's 80 to 90. I know it is high. And it stems from so many things, like you were saying. Like, we have to address some of the other issues, like the depression and all these other things that go into why we overeat, why we don't take care of ourselves, why we have, you know, a lot of us have a lot of sedentary jobs. But yes, I do think the number is high. Mm-hmm. A lot of it stems from the foods that we eat, mm-hmm. you know, that we have access to. Mm-hmm. You know, CalFresh, you know, food stamps, they try to encourage healthy eating, just like when you have WIC, if you've ever gotten WIC, the WIC program, they try to encourage healthy eating and instilling those type of healthy eating into our children. And it doesn't, we're still missing it somewhere. We're still missing it. Because I think it's so much deeper than just us overeating. It stems from so many other things.
Yeah. Mona?
Yes, I do believe that 80 to 90% are overweight. According to the stats, it says 4 out of 5 African American mm-hmm. women are out of weight according to the white BMI. And I'm mm-hmm. not just saying that to diss. I'm saying we have always been overweight, obese, and morbidly obese according to that BMI. But yes, a lot of us are overweight.
Okay. So, I think the numbers are high. I think it's more like, probably over 70%. Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. I know for me, it took, I had to get a dietitian, and I had to relearn how to cook and how to eat smaller meals, because I was raised, you know, with cooking and everything. You eat everything on your plate. There was no like, you know, I'm full, you know, it was, no, there's still some stuff on your plate, eat it, you know. And And so I had to relearn how to eat smaller proportion meals. And I teach that to my daughter. But I know there's a lot of women, both young and old, that were never taught how to eat proportionate meals. Were you taught that?
No. Not at all. I definitely come from that era. You better eat everything on your plate. Oh wait, there's still some meat on that pork chop bone. You know, I came from that era.
Excuse me, my stomach is growling really bad. I just have to say this, just in case it comes across. So I need to eat right now. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. So yeah, I did. I came from that. You have to, and we had a lot of rewarding with us with food.
You want some dessert?
Yeah.
You better eat all of it.
You got all A's. I'm gonna fix you your favorite cake or your favorite this, and everything was geared around food. Mm-hmm. So we were foodies at a early age. And so this went from generation to generation, not to mention some of us genetically, it's in us. It's prone for us to be overweight because, you know, we come from some other fat people. And we have to break that generational curse.
I agree.
Absolutely. I'm agree with both of you. We were taught to eat everything on your plate. Mm-hmm. Do you know how many starving children there are in Africa?
Yes,
exactly. And you're wasting food. You know, they say my first words were eat. Mm-hmm. and you'll notice when I'm on the broadcast, I'm the only one eating. So I brought some mints today because I'm trying to cut back. But absolutely, as far as Neisha talking about portion control, you're supposed to eat a piece of meat the size of your fist.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Vegetables the size of your fist. Everything is supposed to be the size of your fist. And we like to eat. Black people like to eat. When we go to these fancy restaurants and they have 2 asparagus,
it's like what?
And we're like, we need double.
Yeah,
you know. So yeah, we were taught to eat, and maybe it stems from a time when we didn't have a lot of food.
It's possible.
I think it
You know what I'm
does.
saying?
Yes. Yeah. So I when I was having this discussion and we were talking about it, you know, some of us were offended, and it was like, you don't know my life. You know, just because I'm big doesn't mean that I don't deserve, you know, said man and men like this and this. And so I was, my sister over here is real hungry.
I hear it too, way over here. My God. I was like, is that her stomach for real?
You know, I had to explain that, you know, we have to get to a point where we have to stop making excuses. One thing that I can say that I've learned over the last few years too is with COVID, a lot of family members I lost to COVID, and one of the main proponents behind it, they said, besides, you know, the virus, was that it was attacking a lot of people that were medically obese, that were overweight, that never really took care of their health up front. So it was easy for them to succumb to the virus. And so that was one of the reasons why I was like, okay, I got to get it together. I really have to work on being healthy because I got someone to live for. And I try to pass down the knowledge to her. Like, she's aware and she eats completely different than I do. But there was a long period in my family for a while on my mother's side where diabetes was prevalent. And I'm starting to see, again, women in their 20s that's like, yeah, I'm a diabetic. Yeah, I have type 2. Right. Yeah, I have high blood pressure. Yeah, I have, you know, hypertension. Yeah, and it's just like, how many kids do you have? None. How much do you weigh? And I'm looking at what they eat, what they order, how they move. And granted, I know that we have a lot of things that we tackle in our community. Not having proper diets, not having access to healthy food, not having access to grocery stores that are closer to where we live. Some have to drive out further just to get to those. And I'm going to be honest, there are times, not right now really because of inflation, but prior to that, where it was cheaper to eat unhealthy as opposed to eating healthy, because the unhealthy food was cheaper than the actual healthy food. So what do you think?
Let me say this, because I heard you say something about they didn't have any children. Don't think that we're making excuses for women that have children.
No.
That they, you know, I'm just doing clarification here, that we're making excuses for women that have children, and that's the reason why they are obese. We need to do a part 2 because we're running out of time.
Absolutely.
But when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about some solutions and what some things that we can incorporate into our lifestyles that will make us fit and fine.
Yes. BGP, we'll be back.